Welcome back to Terror Tales. Tonight, we take you to an old, secluded mansion that holds dark secrets and mysterious whispers. This tale begins with a seemingly routine inheritance of a family estate, but soon descends into a nightmarish encounter with the supernatural. Gather around, turn off the lights, and prepare for a journey that will leave you listening to every creak and murmur in the dark. It was a crisp autumn day when I received the news that I had inherited my great-aunt Edith's old mansion. The house was located in the countryside, far from the bustling city. Eager to see my new property, I packed my bags and drove out to the secluded estate. The mansion stood tall and imposing, its once grand facade now weathered and overgrown with ivy. As I stepped inside, I was greeted by the scent of aged wood and dust. The interior was filled with antique furniture and family heirlooms, all covered in a thick layer of neglect. I spent the day exploring the many rooms, marveling at the history contained within the walls. But as evening fell, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was not alone. The first night was uneventful, but as I lay in bed, I heard faint whispers coming from the attic. Dismissing it as the wind, I managed to fall asleep. The next morning, I decided to investigate. The attic was a labyrinth of old trunks, forgotten treasures, and cobwebs. As I sorted through the clutter, I discovered an old, leather-bound diary hidden beneath a pile of dusty books. The diary belonged to my great-aunt Edith, and its pages were filled with her thoughts and experiences. One entry in particular caught my attention. It spoke of a dark presence in the attic, a malevolent force that whispered secrets and tormented her in the dead of night. Edith had tried to rid the house of the entity, but her efforts were in vain. The final entry was a desperate plea for help. To whoever finds this diary, beware the whispers in the attic. They are not of this world. As I read those words, the temperature in the attic seemed to drop. The whispers grew louder, surrounding me in a chilling cacophony. I felt a cold hand brush against my shoulder, and I turned to see a shadowy figure standing in the corner, a gaunt, hollow-eyed apparition with a sinister grin. "You should not have come here," the figure whispered, its voice echoing in my mind. "This is my domain, and you are now part of it." Panic set in, and I bolted from the attic, the whispers following me down the stairs. I could hear the entity's laughter, a malevolent sound that seemed to reverberate through the entire house. Desperate to escape, I remembered Edith's diary. It mentioned a ritual to banish the dark presence, a ritual that required items of significance to the spirit, a piece of the house's foundation, a family heirloom, and a mirror to reflect its true form. Gathering my courage, I searched the mansion for the items. I found a loose brick in the basement, a silver locket that belonged to Edith, and an old, ornate mirror in the drawing room. The clock was ticking, and I had only a few hours until midnight, the peak of the entity's power. As the hour approached, I returned to the attic, the items in hand. The air crackled with energy, and the whispers grew to a deafening roar. I set up the ritual, placing the items on the floor and positioning the mirror to face the shadowy figure. The entity appeared once more, its eyes burning with rage. "You cannot escape me," it hissed. "Your soul will be mine." With a final, desperate effort, I began to recite the incantation from the diary. My voice trembled, but I forced myself to continue. The air grew colder, and the figure screamed in agony, its form beginning to disintegrate. The attic shuddered, and the whispers intensified, reaching a fever pitch. The mirror reflected the entity's true form, a twisted, malevolent spirit bound to the house by dark forces. The reflection seemed to weaken it, and with a final, anguished scream, the entity dissolved into a cloud of shadow. The attic fell silent, and the oppressive weight lifted. Exhausted and shaken, I made my way back down the stairs. The house seemed to have been cleansed of its dark presence, the air lighter, and the whispers gone. I spent the rest of the night in the drawing room, keeping the mirror close by as a precaution. The next morning, the sun filtered through the windows, casting a warm glow over the mansion. The estate was mine, but it was clear that it held more than just family history. It held secrets and spirits that needed to be respected. I decided to keep Edith's diary as a reminder of the encounter and the power of the supernatural. However, as the days passed, the tranquility of the mansion was disrupted by a new sense of unease. Strange occurrences began to manifest. Objects moved on their own. Cold drafts swept through the halls, and the whispers returned, softer but persistent. It seemed that the entity was not entirely banished, but weakened and waiting. Determined to uncover the full extent of the curse, I delved deeper into Edith's diary. One entry mentioned an old family legend of a hidden chamber beneath the mansion, a place where dark rituals had been performed long ago. The legend spoke of a powerful artifact, a cursed relic that bound the spirit to the house. I searched the mansion, looking for clues to the hidden chamber's location. In the library, I discovered an old map of the estate marked with cryptic symbols. It pointed to a concealed door in the cellar, behind a wall of dusty shelves. Armed with a flashlight and a crowbar, I made my way to the cellar and pried open the hidden door. Behind it lay a narrow staircase, descending into the darkness. The air grew colder with each step, and the whispers grew louder, urging me to turn back. But I pressed on, determined to end the curse once and for all. At the bottom of the stairs, I found the hidden chamber. It was a small, dimly lit room filled with ancient relics and symbols of dark magic. In the center of the room stood a pedestal, upon which rested a blackened, twisted artifact, the source of the curse. As I approached the pedestal, the whispers became a deafening roar, and the shadowy figure appeared once more, its form more twisted and malevolent than before. It lunged at me, but I stood my ground, determined to destroy the artifact and free the house from its dark grip. With a final, desperate effort, I grabbed the artifact and smashed it against the stone floor. The room was filled with a blinding light, and the entity let out a final, agonized scream before disintegrating into a cloud of shadow. The whispers ceased, and the oppressive weight lifted. Exhausted and shaken, I made my way back up the stairs and out of the hidden chamber. The mansion felt lighter, the air fresher, and the dark presence finally gone. The estate was mine, free of the malevolent spirit that had haunted it for generations. I spent the following days restoring the mansion, breathing new life into the old estate. The villagers, once wary of the haunted house, now looked upon it with renewed respect. The legend of the whispers in the attic would live on, but the curse was broken, and the house was finally at peace. Stay tuned for more spine-chilling stories on Terror Tales. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue to bring you the most terrifying tales from the darkest corners of the world. Also, make sure to hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode of sheer horror and suspense. Sweet dreams if you can.